Gentlemen, Tony Khan, Nick Khan. There's only room for one Khan in the business, according to Tony Khan. But Nick Khan decided to take some more shots today. And you know what I'm saying? I live for this WWE. Thank you so much, man. But listen, Any, how are you feeling about this, bro? WWE taking shots on the biggest week of the year for them.
Now I want y'all to realize something here. This young man, Brian, is the same man who had a problem when AEW was doing the same thing to WWE. When they took shots at WWE, Brian would come on here crashing out saying they need to focus on their own product. Why are they always worried about WWE? Now, the last time I heard AEW doing this was back when that whole CM Punk thing was going, when they were showing the Jack Perry stuff and they actually showed the footage on TV. After that, I haven't really heard AEW reference WWE at all. Now it seems like every time WWE needs a big pop, they have to use AEW to do it. And whenever they get a chance to take these low blows, they're going to take them every time. We go back to CM Punk. We know he did not like his time in AEW. It's fine. It's been over a year ago at this point. Leave it alone. But no, CM Punk gets in the ring still saying, I work with children. We all know that's a reference to what happened at AEW Brawlout, but the people in the crowd apparently don't know or don't care because he never gets a pop. Now you have John Cena in the ring on the biggest feud. This is supposed to be one of the biggest feuds of all time with him going up against Cody Rhodes. And what does he do for a pop? He has to reference AEW. You went over there and you had to go with, what was the quote, Brian?
Said he was he stole he stole a billionaire's money with his son, something like that. But point made, it was definitely a shot at Tony Khan. It was a billionaire's son money, I believe it was. But yeah.
Why are we taking shots at Tony Khan on WWE TV? And for one, in the biggest feud of the year, and for two, during these random interviews, Nick Khan, this is pretty much what he said. He went in this interview and said AEW is raising some great talent. Now, he didn't say AEW's name, of course, but he said AEW is raising some great talent over there. And once their contracts come up, we'll be glad to have them. And big shouts out to the billionaire's dad. Big shouts out to the billionaire who owns the Jacksonville Jaguar who funds it. Why not big shouts out to Tony Khan? No. You got to say he's using his daddy's money to fund this business. And go ahead. I'm going to let you take it here because I got some more. For you.
Well, before we go there, it's just like WWE and AEW, bro. Wrestlers cross over. So he's saying, there's some wrestlers out there that we like and we'll talk to them. And I'm sure that some of them will come over and some of them won't. But thing is,
why did he have to say nothing but respect to the Jacksonville's Jaguar owner who's funding it? Why not big respect to Tony Khan?
I think this all stems from the whole there's only room for one Khan in a business.
It was a joke.
Okay, but the thing is, it's a bad joke. Because if there was only room for one Khan in a business, it'd be Nick Khan. He's the better businessman out the two.
Oh, boy. He's a better businessman. Who is he working for? TKO. Tony Khan is working for himself, running the promotion by himself.
No.
Tony Khan is just a background player.
Tony Khan is working for himself with his daddy's money.
Okay, listen. How was WWE created? Vince McMahon Sr. created the WWE, this thing that everybody knows and loves. Vince McMahon bought it from him. So he's building up his daddy's corporation. Vince McMahon did not build this thing from the ground up. Tony Khan is building his business from the ground up.
Vince McMahon literally, the business was very small compared to what WWE is now. Vince McMahon did that. His daddy would have not done that.
Vince McMahon did grow the business. Big shouts out to Vince McMahon. Don't get me wrong. The greatest booker, the greatest wrestling promoter of all time. Nobody's touching him, but he still did it off of the foundation his father built. Tony Khan is building his foundation with his father's money, or we don't know. Tony Khan is a billionaire too, so he got his own money. This is just something that everybody's assuming. Sure, Shad Khan has some stuff to do with AEW, but at the end of the day, Tony Khan took this business from the red and brought it to the green, turning this to a profitable business. And at this point, it's the longest running wrestling. Well, I don't know. Did TNA run longer than WCW?
No, on TNT is actually the longest running weekly show on Prime TV. So
there you go.
That's something in its own.
That's a big accomplishment. And Tony Khan did this all by himself. Now, Is he running this business perfectly or the way he should be running it? Absolutely not. But Vince McMahon did not run it the way he should be running it either. AEW is still a very young company, and for it to be hanging in there with WWE as it is, I think that's a big accomplishment. And as long as Tony Khan stays on track and makes the adjustment that he needs to make, AEW can be, dare I say, just as big as WWE? Probably not, because WWE has been around for so long, but AEW can still be a very successful number 2 wrestling company.
Yep, because they will always be number 2. Always be number 2.
Who knows? Hey, WWE's got some pretty bad lawsuits and some pretty things hanging over their head right now. If you guys don't know, Vince McMahon is being hit with those sexual allegation charges, and WWE is actually supporting him and funding it to fight against it. So, I don't know.
I didn't even know that.
Yes, they are. They are on Vince McMahon's side in this lawsuit. Now, listen, I'm not holding anything against Vince McMahon because he still has not been found guilty. But all of you guys who talk trash about Vince McMahon, saying how terrible of a man he is, you got to hold WWE in that same light because they are fighting alongside him, allegedly.
I didn't even know that. But at the end of the day, that ain't the conversation we having right now. Right now, we are talking about these shots, my boy. And AEW has taken many, many shots over the years. And you know what, bro? WWE is going to continue taking their talent because at the end of the day, AEW is below NXT.
Oh, come on. AEW is getting over 1 million viewers a week. So I don't know what you're talking about. NXT is not doing that.
AEW is getting under 600,000 viewers a week.
That's
on
not
average.
true.
On
That's
average.
not true. We got to talk about the match numbers.
On TV.
We got to talk about the match numbers. What?
I ain't talking. I'm just kidding, bro. I'll give you.
You got to talk about the match numbers because if we're going to be honest, Raw is cheeks on Netflix. Those numbers aren't good. But if you take AEW's numbers on cable television and on Max, they're getting over 1 million viewers. Every week. So AEW is in a very good place right now. As long as they stay on pace, then they're going to continue to keep growing, and they may even take over as the number 1 wrestling company.
They will never do that. But let me go on ahead and ask my boy, WWE right now, they are the bigger promotion.
Just like they will be.
Yeah. But do you feel like AEW is a stepping stone for WWE at the moment? Because Nick Khan mentioned there's some wrestlers that we'll talk to, right? And it feels because of AEW, and I'll give them credit for this. The wrestlers that are coming over from there feel way bigger in WWE. Like Penta's debut felt big. Ray Phoenix debut felt cool. It was pretty big. People were excited for it. Andrade's
what
debut
have they done since?
What you mean? Penta's in a WrestleMania match right now. Ray Phoenix just debuted, bro. What you talking about?
Who's Penta wrestling at WrestleMania?
He's wrestling Dom Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Champion.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like let's get him on the card. Who can we put him in there with? Dom Mysterio. We got to get Finn Balor on the card too. Put him in there with Finn Balor.
It makes sense though. The match makes sense because Braun Breaker and Penta had a little bit of heat. And then you have Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, who've been teasing on turning on each other for a while. So it was the perfect match.
I'll give you that. Penta came over. He's in a WrestleMania match. Where's Ricky Starks at?
An NXT North American champion.
NXT. A developmental champion. A developmental brand. He went from being on a big stage at AEW. Now
he wasn't even being shown on TV. He wasn't even being shown on TV. And
where's
AEW.
Ethan Page at?
Right, feuding just down there as well. He's cooking right now.
NXT. He was in TNA doing it up. Made it to AEW on big boy TV. Now he's in developmental.
So let me ask you
another question.
Let me ask you a question.
Where's Jordan Grace at?
She's in NXT. They cooking down
One
there.
of the best women's wrestlers in the world, TNA champion. They dropped her down to NXT. Let me ask you one more question.
Why are you taking it as a demotion?
Undefeated for years in AEW. Why did Jade Cargill get pinned by Liv Morgan?
Made all the sense in the world.
For Jade Cargill,
bro, Cody Rhodes lost it like Solo Sikoa last year, or Drew
Cody Rhodes is an established star. Cody Rhodes is an established star. He can take a pick.
So is Jade.
Jade Cargill in AEW, she went through her whole run up until the end, not getting pinned, and that made people look at her like a big threat. Comes to WWE, immediately they humanize her by pinning her by Liv Morgan.
Bro,
And just a
immediately
throwaway match. Another
are you
throwaway
crazy? Immediately bro.
Bro, she hasn't had many
She
matches in
literally just
WWE.
beat the brakes out of Naomi in front of our eyes at Elimination Chamber.
Not in a match.
When was
And
the
then what
last
did they
time?
do?
When
Right
was
after
the
that,
last
they
time?
humbled her.
When was the last time you seen a woman beat another woman senseless like that in WWE? When was the last
When
time?
Nia Jax beat Charlotte up that time in the ring?
How long ago was that? I think that was
I don't even
before
remember,
she got
bro, but
fired.
that was a beating.
But that's my point, though, bro. It's something that you don't see, bro.
But
You
it
don't
don't
see
matter.
somebody
It
slam
doesn't matter.
the
They
chamber
washed it
door on them,
away. They washed it away. Right afterwards, Liv Morgan pinned her. What are we doing here?
bro.
What
Because
are we doing
it
here?
made
That's
sense.
like in AEW, her having this crazy run and then just getting pinned by, what's that girl's name? Red Velvet. Like,
But
what are we doing?
hold on, bro. Let's not act like Liv isn't like a star in the division either. Like Liv is a very notable name. Liv is hey. Liv had a top 3 year.
You know what? She is one of their top stars. I'll give you that. But still, nobody should have pinned Jade Cargill when it was not necessary. It was not necessary for her to get pinned in that match.
So how do you have Naomi get back on her if it's not that way?
After the match, come out, sneak her, beat her down a little bit, get her disqualified.
So we just gonna keep getting the same thing, bro. It makes sense that Naomi contributed to her first pin. It adds more to it for me.
She shouldn't have been pinned yet. If they were going to pin her, Naomi should have did it at WrestleMania. She shouldn't have gotten pinned before WrestleMania. But the bottom line is WWE is not making superstars out of these AEW wrestlers. If anything, AEW is making the stars out of them, and then they're going to WWE and getting cooled off. We look at what happened with even Cody Roderick Rhodes. My boy went from AEW to WWE, and they had to beat him that year at WrestleMania. They said, wait a minute, we're not going to let him win right now. We got to cool him down first, and then we'll give him the belt when we establish him as a star. Cody Rhodes would have never been a big of a star as he is today if he didn't go to AEW, point blank, period. Big shouts out to Mariah May. I hope she knows what she's doing because they're definitely going to send her to NXT as well. But Brian, do you have anything else to do on this topic? Because you know I can cook you on this mic over AEW for hours.
You're not cooking me at all, my boy. But yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. You're a pretty good WWE representative, though. You can speak good cases for them.
Appreciate you, my boy. Likewise, you know what I mean? But yeah, nah, man, I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Let us know down below. Do you think WWE should continue taking shots at AEW, vice versa? Let us know how you feel down below, man.
And don't forget to drop a like on the video. Smash that subscribe button and grip that thing while you kiss that ring.